Thank you for joining me today for this fourth video in our OET overview series, and today we're going to talk about the speaking section. This is actually the last section you'll tackle during your OET exam, and it can actually be the easiest if you prepare well and approach it with confidence. Hello, I'm Sharon, and I'm one of the expert OET and English language trainers here at Benchmark Education Solutions. In this video, we're going to talk about how you can prepare for the OET Speaking subtest. We'll give you an overview of what you can expect to see, how you'll be scored, and we'll give you lots of strategies for success. At the end, I'll give you some tips to remember. Let's get started. Here's an overview of this part. You'll meet with a real person to do 2 5-minute role plays. But don't worry too much. This person is not your examiner. They are more or less actors, and OET calls them interlocutors. They will play the part of your patient. Instead of letting this make you nervous, just remember that these role plays will be very similar to the consultations you do every day at work, and the content is specific to your profession, so that should help you feel more comfortable. Before the role play begins, the interlocutor will give you a role play card with background information that looks similar to this. This is a role play card for a nurse. It gives you background information and then tasks in the form of bullet points that you'll need to talk about during your conversation. Part of your score will depend on how well you address each of these concerns. You'll be given 3 minutes to absorb the information on the card, then you'll have 5 minutes for your conversation. The role play will be recorded, and these recordings are what the assessors will hear. Your role plays will be scored by at least 2 different assessors, and they will mark you not just on your ability to express yourself in English, but also on some very specific performance criteria. In general, you'll need a score of 350 or a B grade to pass. Let's talk now about how you can achieve that score of 350 or even higher. How did the assessors score you, and what are those specific performance criteria we mentioned? You'll be scored with 2 sets of criteria, linguistic criteria and also clinical communication criteria. Linguistic criteria include intelligibility, or how clearly your listener can understand you. Fluency refers to the speed and smoothness of your speech. Appropriateness of your language refers to how well you adjust your conversation to the particular listener you're speaking to. Grammar and expression refer to how well your listener understands you based on your grammar and your choice of vocabulary. Equally important is the clinical communication criteria. How well do you relate to your patient and demonstrate empathy and comfort? Relationship building is about how you open the conversation and develop a good rapport with your patient. Understanding and incorporating the patient's perspective is about how well you respond to your patient's concerns and involve him in the conversation. Providing structure refers to how well you organize the conversation and move in a logical direction from start to finish. Information gathering is about how the questions you ask impact the conversation and how well you hear and understand the patient's answers. And information giving refers to your ability to provide information and to check to make sure your patient understands. It's important not to be nervous. Be confident and focus on your task. Try to forget that you're being tested. Pretend that this is a real patient and you're doing what you do every day at your job. Empathy with your patient is your main goal, and if you can achieve this, you'll probably naturally cover everything in the clinical communications criteria. Now I'm going to give you some tips about the speaking section. You can make any notes you like on your role play card. If you have questions about the content of the role play card or how the role play works, you can ask the interlocutor during your 3 minutes of preparation time. You can also refer to your role play card during your 5-minute speaking time. It's important to pay attention to the details of your specific role play task and try hard to cover each item listed on your role play card. But if you can't get to everything, it's okay. At the end, be sure to ask your patient if they have any questions. You're not allowed to keep track of the time, but your interlocutor can. If they say, "Yes, I have a question," you'll know that you need to keep speaking. But if they say, "No, I don't have any more questions," then you'll know it's time to wrap up your conversation and bring it to a cordial end. Remember, you're in charge of the conversation, just like in real life. You're expected to both begin and end the conversation in a friendly, encouraging way. The OET assessors are checking for your ability to engage with the patient as a medical professional and that you're thorough, patient, and encouraging. You'll need to focus both on your English skills and your clinical communication skills to score well in the speaking section. If you're still a little nervous about the speaking subtest, why not try a few practice tests? At Benchmark Education Solutions, we help you prepare for test day by offering OET speaking mock tests. You can practice 2 role plays with an expert OET trainer in real time and get personalized tips to help you improve. Visit our website at edubenchmark.com and take an OET practice test. We want you to succeed on the OET exam and achieve your dreams. You'll find links to all these services in the description below, as well as links to more in-depth videos that will give you tips and strategies about OET speaking. And while you're there, subscribe, click the bell, give us a like, and please leave us a comment. Thank you so much for joining me for this 4-part overview of the OET exam. Study hard, practice, and I'll see you in the next video.